A local filmmaker is launching an ambitious project with plans to shoot and film his and cast the film here in Jacksonville. He kicks off a fundraising effort here at WJCT Studios on Thursday, this Thursday, November 6th. Here to tell us about it is filmmaker Drew Lewis Brown. Drew, welcome.
Hi, Anne. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So, Baby Tooth, gonna have you scooching a
hmm
little bit there. Baby Tooth is the name of the project.
hmm
What is the inspiration for the name?
Well, Baby Tooth essentially is a fictionalized retelling of the last few days that my grandmother was alive. It's essentially a 70% autobiographical. It happened at a time in my life where, growing up as a queer closeted kid in rural towns across Alabama and Florida, I grew up into someone who was rather insecure when it came to masculinity and my definition of what it meant to be an adult and to be a man. And I have a baby tooth that never fell out because I was born without the adult tooth that was supposed to disintegrate the roots to push the baby tooth out. And so because I didn't have that happen, the roots of my baby tooth actually remain super intact and very strong. And so this relic of a childhood that I was hoping I could get rid of actually turned out to be a really strong part of my foundation as a person. And so while all this was happening, my grandmother fell and she broke both of her legs. And at 95, she was not going to walk again. So she then lived in a medical bed in the middle of my mom's home. And my sister and mother were her main caregivers. And I would come and visit and see the sacrifices that they would make in their own lives to provide for this woman who we had known our entire lives. And it was just sort of seeing these themes of safety and acceptance that I was battling and grappling with within myself, trying to keep myself safe and accepting my own journey, was also mirrored in the role of being a family caregiver, trying to keep someone safe and alive while having to accept their inevitable death. And so when I experienced this with my family, I recognized this really had the power to be an important story to be put on paper and eventually on the screen.
And so it is powerful, but also exposing. How do you deal with that as a filmmaker? Something that is so close to your own story and rooted in your own experience.
Yeah, I mean, people say that you should write what you know, and I didn't really consider myself much of a writer until I experienced these life-changing things with my family that really motivated me to put it on paper. I mean, with Baby Tooth in particular, a lot of millennials don't really think about caregiving. We're not really put in positions where we have to think about caring for our aging loved ones. It's usually, the generation before us or our aunts and uncles or our parents. But I think it's a conversation that we are all going to have at some point in our lives. And along with that conversation, it's a matter of understanding how are we going to balance the other demons that we're battling with ourselves while also, trying to provide for the people who we love.
And so that is the theme. And for folks who are watching our live stream, there's sort of a proof of concept video that you've put together for this film.
Mhm.
So this is kind of at the nascent stages. You will be fundraising for this project. You're planning on shooting it here. You're planning on casting a lot of it here. Tell us a little bit about the scope of the project.
Sure. So, making an independent feature film is so challenging to do. I mean, I think it's nearly impossible without honestly having support from a community behind you. So the budget for the film this film in particular is $1 million, which is really small when it comes to the industry standards of how much a movie actually costs. And fortunately, the production segment of the budget is about $700,000. And so with the goal of filming this here in Jacksonville, that means there's going to be $700,000 worth of goods and services that are going to be going directly into, the local community. And so that's why, it was really important for me to create this fundraising effort to help, secure some seed money to really get the project going.
And so you're looking for community support for this. You've also been a big supporter of the local film scene. You've won Best Film at the LOL Film Festival in the past. You've won awards for your other um, work,
Mhm.
including Gray. I'm
The gray
blanking. The
area.
Gray Area, yeah, which is
Yes, yeah.
a very popular film and has been viewed a lot.
Mhm.
Um, so this is not your first endeavor, but it is a challenge. So at this fundraiser that you're hosting Thursday, what is it that people will see in terms of this project?
Sure. So at the fundraiser, essentially, it's a kickoff to an end of year giving campaign. And the fundraiser will be hosted by me. I'll be essentially giving a presentation about my own personal journey growing up in Northeast Florida and how that really set the foundation for Baby Tooth. We'll also be screening two short films, a documentary about family caregiving that I recently made with my family about their own experience, as well as the cinematic proof of concept that some of your viewers are watching on the live stream. Our audience will also hear from a representative from the Jacksonville Film and TV office, specifically about how productions like Baby Tooth can bring real economic impact to Northeast Florida, specifically the fact that Baby Tooth plans to create over 150 local jobs for people working in independent film here. And additionally, they'll also hear from two of our principal cast members, one being Tony Award winner Judith Ivey, who was actually here in Northeast Florida in the 90s filming The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. So she's really excited to be back here.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we'll look forward to tracking it as it moves along and gets into the production phase.
hmm
We've got more information about it on our website, but that is Thursday here at WJCT Studios. Starts at 6. Um,
Starts at 7.
Starts at 7. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, doors at 6. Looks
It'll
like.
be doors at 7 and the event begins at 7:30.
All right, I've got completely wrong information here.
That's okay.
All right. All right, Drew Brown, thank you for coming on. Nice to see you.
Thanks a lot. Nice to
All
see you
right.
too.